Good morning and welcome to the Teacher's Wake Up Call with Madame la Prof. Hi. Oh, there's going to be a lot of coffee involved today. Yeah, it's going to be one of those days. And it has nothing to do with the new advertising campaign that the ministry put out to attract teachers to the profession, future teachers. So I want you to picture a classroom, okay? And the teacher in a very melodic voice, okay, time to sit down. Could you take out your math workbook? And you don't see the students' faces. And then when they open their desks and they close their desks, when you see the faces of the students, it reveals actual grown-ups and the different careers. So you'll have a doctor, you'll have a plumber, like, you know, okay? So it's a nice advertising campaign. I need more coffee. It's pretty, it's idealized. It makes you think about the impact of teachers in society, because if we have all of these people, you know, practicing different careers, it is because of teachers, and not just like elementary school teachers. We're talking about high school teachers. We're talking about professional teachers. We're talking about vocational teachers. We're talking about university. We're talking about teachers. And if we didn't have teachers, we wouldn't have these people doing professions. But that, I think, I don't want to say everyone knows that. Not everyone knows that. Like, there's some people who still harbor resentment against teachers and how, oh my God, I pay your salary. I should be the one bossing you around. How dare you speak to my child that way? You know, we have, you know, people like that. But I don't think it's the best advertising campaign to recruit future teachers. It's a great advertising campaign to remind people how important we are. All right? It's a great advertising campaign to have, you know, tug at people's heartstrings and have them understand the impact. Because if you're trying to recruit future teachers, you have to tell them the truth. That you're probably going to ask them 5 times to take out their workbook before they do anything. You're probably going to have to ask them 3 or 4, 5, 6 times, please sit down, please sit down. No, stop standing up, sit down. Stop touching your classmate. You know, keep your hands to yourselves. You're probably going to groan and wonder, why did this kid forget their workbook again? It's not the proper advertising campaign to convince people to become teachers, especially nowadays when you know the challenges that exist in a classroom. And I was living it yesterday. Nothing dramatic, but I literally started explaining the work that needed to be done, starting with pardon, ne perdons pas de temps. Je veux que vous maximisiez votre temps en classe. Je commence les explications maintenant. And the moment I finished saying that sentence, I'm going to start my explanations now. 3 or 4 different people started talking in class, and I just looked at the wall, and I had a student say, "Respirez, madame, respirez." That's all that I do. I have to breathe if I wish to remain sane. If you want an advertising campaign, in my opinion, the best advertising campaign is the sort of advertising that happens on site. You can create the prettiest image possible but it's not reality, it's an ideal. And if you try to convince someone with the ideal, the moment they face the real, they will give up. And that's why so many teachers give up the profession. Because in their heads, they have their vision of the ideal, and it does not correlate to the real. It doesn't jive with the real. It doesn't even correspond in the slightest with the real. And many teachers do not know how to deal with the real. If you want a real advertising campaign, you have to go into a real classroom with a seasoned teacher who still has all their marbles, or their marbles, like his, hers, theirs. I need more coffee. And show them the reality. Show them how it's being done, and how, yes, it can be possible to have a fulfilling, successful career and still deal with the craziness of the real. I've always said, if you want to become a teacher, you have to be crazier than the students. Ha! And I say that lovingly. And I've had, I don't know how many students throughout my career, they understand. Before people say, like, you're insulting the students, you're calling them crazy. No, they realize that they are, okay? It's like the first time I said that, the two students who were asking me the question, why, how do you do it? Like, why did you become a teacher, and how can you survive? I looked at them, it's like, you have to be crazier than the students. And they all went, yep. And because they know themselves. More and more students are self-aware of their challenges and what it entails. And if you want someone to become a teacher, you need a person, and I have a couple of students in mind who have experienced that. You have to have them live a positive experience in a chaotic situation with a teacher, and then realize, I can do that too. I can make other people understand that it's okay, and I know I can give them the tools to get through it. But it doesn't happen often because, like many teachers, we try to survive. We try to I don't want to say get through with our day, in one piece, but pretty much. And there's not like an advertising company that can like get that. So I saw excerpts of that ad. Yeah, it's pretty. It's a nice ad. It's a nice advertising campaign. But you're not going to attract future teachers with the ideal when they are very well aware of the real. These future teachers, or these people who think like, oh, what career will I have? What should I go into when I'm in CEGEP University? They remember how it was in their classrooms, and they are acutely aware of how challenging it is. And not only that, they are acutely aware that our boss, the government, is unwilling to recognize, I don't want to say unwilling, has challenges of their own and difficulty recognizing the amount of work that we do, and we constantly have to fight with him, with them, with them, to get that recognition. While if they go into the private sector in a different field, they won't necessarily have that struggle. So yeah, and that's why They come into this, the public sector, and then they realize like, oh, I could do something different and get paid more, or get better recognition, or get more time off, or get better medical insurance. Whatever the decision, the case may be, you just can't. You just can't attract future teachers by just a cute little ad talking about, oh, these young people will become the future doctors, the future teachers, the future hairstylists, the future plumbers, electricians, engineers, pilots. We know that. We know that. At least a good majority of us know that. But we also know what happens in a classroom and what happens in a school. And there are more and more people who are turned off by that idea. So yeah, I need more coffee. It's just one of those mornings. Have yourselves an awesome day.